And welcome to our Power Thinking, Rejuvenating Your Amazing Mind training for Wednesday. It is January 21st, 2026, and this is our 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time edition. I'm your moderator, Stanley Green. Always a pleasure to be with you. The month is almost over. We just started the new year, and we are now almost past January. So, what have you done in terms of your goals, the things that you want to accomplish this year? I don't talk resolutions as much anymore, but some folks have made resolutions, whether you call them resolutions or goals. What have you done so far to uh, get yourself on track in terms of the things that you want to do? We're going to be focused today on our power thinking resilience skill. This is a skill number two, and that skill is avoiding thinking traps. And we focused on the automatic thoughts today, and that's a big one. This is a significant part of what we do with helping us all bounce back from life's adversities much faster. Can we avoid the negative feelings that we feel? In some cases, we can, but most of the time, we're going to find ourselves reacting, and we are going to find ourselves working hard to bounce back from life's adversity. So we are happy that you're with us. We shared a video, designed for children, but we were all children, and many of us have children, or we have grandchildren, and it's important to understand how we can more effectively communicate with them, because it's not just about us. It definitely is how we are bringing up the next generation and the generations beyond that. So I thought that video was appropriate. You see from time to time that we do share videos that are designed for children, and we want to make sure that we don't leave them out of the mix at all. So feel free to hit that *6 on your phones. For those of you who are on the phone lines, we'd certainly love to hear from you. Get your thoughts around this very, very important topic. We'll take a few phone calls, and we'll go back to our basics to kind of make sure that we have the big context of what we do here with power thinking. Again, feel free to hit that at any time. And we want to, I see something about somebody, I see Leslie's comment about someone speaking in the background. That's because we did not, at that time, we weren't monitoring or muting everyone. So thanks for joining us. I see Layla Llewellyn. I see Timothy Butts on as well. And those of you who are on the phone lines, we're going to acknowledge you when we get back to you. But we're going to not waste any time and go right to the folks on the phone lines. We have first joining us, Leslie Flowers. Leslie, thank you for joining us. Mention where you're joining us from and your thoughts about these automatic negative thoughts. Welcome.
Thank you, Stanley. And isn't it wonderful to have people that are able to reach out to you to let you know what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
It's a great collaboration.
What's amazing is that at a certain point, it was starting like 7:25, and then beyond is 7:26. And then here come the stream of text. I saw you, I saw Samuel, I saw Carla, I saw others. So thank you so much, everyone, for making sure that we were okay. Go right ahead, Leslie.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That shows that this is an automatic positive thought to show up here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, okay, a couple things. So conventional training, CBT-based training, such as power thinking, people who have graduated from university in psychology and therapy, there's a big missing that they don't know yet. So it's so new, but they're completely unaware of the mind. And so I loved the video. The thinking track is the automatic negative thoughts. And I have a couple of simple correlations to take it from children to adults. So when we really understand how our mind works and we're clear about it, we can take action. But as long as we remain in confusion, I don't take action until I get clear. So let me say to you all, please, that the ants are your 6 basic fears. They're all real. They no longer serve as they did when you were children to protect you. They are the most powerful automatic thoughts you have, and it's really not thinking. Not really, it's reacting. So, with what Stanley says, 50,000 thoughts, there's new information, Stanley, that shows that only 6,000, a Canadian study, only 6,000 complete thoughts. So, yes, 50,000, but even 6,000 complete thoughts is a lot to process. So that is the problem. And these fears are embedded through repetition of negative thoughts because, as the video said, it makes you feel bad. So what do you think and how often you think about it, and the way you feel actually matches your life, your results. The only other thing I'd say is the way that you counter. And I didn't agree with the video because it's missing information, but that's okay. The way you counter the negative thoughts is using the law of polarity, the law of opposites. So when you catch yourself, I don't believe in writing it down, as the video said, because it further enhances the lower vibration. You don't need to. All you have to do once you catch it, that you thought something negative about money or about yourself or about sickness, whatever it is, in the moment you catch it, find its exact opposite, because that is the high vibration positive that will pull you out and break momentarily that stream of negative thoughts. So nothing wrong with it. I thought it was adorable and it really made the point, but now we're adults. And there's more information. And in order for us to take action, my friend, for me, I want to know where they're coming from. Why? Right? Why am I thinking those? And how do I break the cycle? So thank you so much for letting me share. Thank you for getting a late start, but being here right on time, my friend. And wishing everyone a happy Wednesday. So what do you think, Stan?
Thank you. Leslie, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for sharing your perspective. Thank you for inviting me on your program on Monday, where we actually simulcasted on our Twitch and YouTube channels. So you can feel free to go back and see that. But the focus was on Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, since it was Dr. Martin Luther King Day in the United States of America. So it was a great opportunity to kind of go back and not just say, well, hey, it was great, I have a dream speech, but what was going on even before I was born and moving through the civil rights movement. So there was during that period, a lot of automatic negative thoughts on the part of folks who, fell into thinking traps, overgeneralization. Well, people that look like this, this is the way they are, and they shouldn't have this, and they shouldn't have that. They should only live in these neighborhoods. There was, a lot of tunnel vision, in terms of how society should be, but this is the only way it should be. In fact, there was a time in the South where it was, colored water fountains and white bathrooms and so forth. So these were all thinking traps. And Dr. Martin Luther King had to change and mobilize people and they were already mobilized, and he came in. They, had him lead this movement to say, we're going to, help to reframe these automatic thoughts. We want a society where folks have equality and so forth. So, there were a lot of folks, and there's still people that have a lot of these automatic negative thoughts about folks. They'll jump to conclusions. If you look like this, then therefore you're going to behave in this way. And to this day, there are folks who have some of those automatic negative thoughts about other people. They may blame, well, all of society's woes is because of people who happen to look like this. And if you think about it, what we talked about, Leslie and I talked about on Monday, was that certainly all of this was going on, for generations, and it still goes on today. There are people, if they look a certain way, it's overgeneralizing again, and jumping to conclusions, because of these automatic negative thoughts, um, that will tend to blame other folks. That's externalizing. That's a thinking trap that folks need to be more aware of. They'll jump to a conclusion. They'll mind read. If you look this way, then you are thinking about perhaps robbing me. And I've seen that, just within the past couple of years. Go to a place and somebody's clutching their purse. They see you coming. I'm not dressed. I dress casual, a t-shirt. So these are automatic negative thoughts, but we can do something about helping people to be more aware and to change those thoughts. Whatever techniques you use, the biggest is to be aware of what is going on in our heads so that we can make the necessary adjustments. And, what Leslie said, there may be disagreements about the number of negative thoughts, whether we should write them down or record them. But it is the awareness that's 80% of what we're talking about here. Being able to label these automatic thoughts. We'll move through some of the others a little later, but we're going to go next to Carla Hill. Carla, thank you for joining us and being the first on and the first to send that text. Hey, what's going on there? Where are you? Welcome. We appreciate you mentioning where you're joining us from and your thoughts about automatic negative thoughts.
Yes, Stanley, thank you so much. I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I like the video because of the simplicity, and I like structure, meaning in terms of systems, like, okay, acknowledge, but what are the steps? And I love what you talked about, is awareness, like, okay, I'm having an automatic negative thought, but then what the video talks about is disrupting, like, stop, right? And then really going down to, like, when you have time to really saying, where's that coming from? It's almost a root cause analysis, avoiding thinking traps. I know one of the tools of 12-step programs, I acknowledge that that's the program that I'm still in, that I've used to release my 90 pounds. And one of the tools is writing. And in the beginning, I'm like, well, what are you writing about? These are some of the things that you write about, whether it's what are you grateful for today? What's that negative? Where did it come from? Just so you can acknowledge it and work on it and stop it. And even your question about, it's 2026, what have you done? So my mind automatically went to what I haven't done.
Right.
Daily. But then I had to disrupt, okay, Carla, what was good so far? Today is January 21st. And one of my what I want to call it, opportunities for growth is the technology part. I talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
So creating spreadsheets for presentation, and usually I delegate that, but I have resilience to go through that. I I was creating Zoom link for a partnership that I'm having where I needed an anytime. I'm used to setting up Zoom links. This seems very basic for some people, but not for Carla. So I had to go through and like, instead of, before I would have just been frustrated and not do it or give it to somebody else to do. But I sat through it and went to my AI, like, how do I create? I didn't know what to call it. I didn't call it an anytime link, meaning if we're doing something every Wednesday with Power Thinking, it's the same Zoom link, but this is for clients that are going to have different times. So it's called an anytime link. Zoom link, that's my link. So I had to, and the AI acknowledged, oh, this is buried in the Zoom portal, right? So I had to sit through that. But those are wins for me because before that, I would not have done that. So it's what are our, and having that friction to sit into it, that's part of building resilience, right?
Yes.
So person that is taking a major exam and is not passed it in the past yet, it's going to pass it soon. But it's what type of resources can we give? The resilience is it, right? The 7 years I've been in the resilience training, it's becoming a resilience practitioner. So again, thank you for creating this. Thank you for the space. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Really appreciate it. Yeah, whatever it is that you want to do for this process, it is important above all to recognize and to be aware that you're having a thought, regardless of how many you can count. You're not going to sit there and count your thoughts, regardless of whether it was partial or complete. The fact that there may be a thought that could prompt a negative emotion, and we definitely need to be aware. We're going to move right to Olu. Before we go back to our framework, our strengths, the skills, the 5 big negative emotions. It's important again for your awareness to kind of make sure that you have those big concepts that we are sharing here every week, and it's helping you to grow. For those who are app users, feel free to comment on the fact that we are really ramping up the training by getting you these micro trainings like every day from Sunday through Saturday. There's a different inner strength that we're focusing on. We're sending you a positive quote. We are helping to you to like really accelerate your learning and your resilience by on Sundays focusing on emotion regulation, Mondays impulse control, Tuesdays empathies and so forth, empathy and so forth, and sending you a link to a very short video associated with each one of those throughout the course of the week. We have in the app a community, chat community. And by the way, Doug Sidoti just won $10 for answering the question that we posed over the weekend, going into the group chat, being the first one to provide the answer. We immediately texted him a $10 Amazon gift card. So we are gamifying, what we do to have some fun and help you to, to deepen that learning. And we're doing many, many other things. And on top of that, you can refer people and make money. So feel free to go to the App Store, whether it's Apple or Google, and download it, get that 30-day free trial. Give me feedback, as many of you have done, and we've been able to fine-tune and continue to fine-tune what we are doing. But this is all for all of us, and we appreciate you. Let's go to Olu next. Olu, let us know where you're joining us from and your thoughts about thinking traps and avoiding them. Welcome.
Hi, Stanley. So I'm always, of course, very happy to be here. It's essentially the only event that I come into and I feel that I continue to get value from. That's just the fact. And that is why I keep coming. Because the kind of person that I am is that if I'm not getting value from a place over time, I'll just find a reason not to go in there. But for over 2 years now, I keep coming in here and I get shares from people from all over the world on issues that are not restricted to my own life alone, but that are human, from the perspective of how they impact people. So they're not specific or restricted to, geographic locations, professions, beliefs, and so on and so forth. So that is real for me. It's something that I can use in my life, and I've been doing that for over 2 years. And because I've been a part of the space, it's made me pay even more deliberate attention to the techniques, So, because other people, older people, more experienced people, people who have achieved more, talk about these issues, about our thinking, our thoughts, and all of that. It's made me pay more attention to it because there has to be something about it if these people are doing that. And over time, I found out that as I pay more attention to it, a bit like what Leslie, spoke about. The thing is that, and I think we've talked about this a while ago, because some of these things reoccur naturally, because they are not physical things that we can see, that we can touch, that we can call people to come and assist us to lift, such as the table, a sofa, or cupboard, and all of that. They can be very difficult. But like Carla said, I think being intentional helps. One of the things that I did, I actually took my own money, and it's not easy for me. I ordered one of these new bone conduction earphones, and I recorded something, a mantra, something, and then what I do is I just put it on, throughout the night, and I listen to it, and I'm telling you, over time, I saw that it mattered, it made sense, because while I'm sleeping, my own voice kept telling me a particular thing that I recorded. So it's not going to be easy, when just like a bit kind of like what Leslie said. It's not going to be easy, it's like when you have a river going down along a particular path. When you want to rechannel it, it takes some work, just like the Suez Canal and so on and so forth, because the pattern has already been built in. So redirecting it, changing the direction is going to take a while. It's like digging a new channel, so it's not going to be in a week. It's not necessarily going to be in a month or 2 months, but we have to be determined. We might need to write out mantras, affirmations. We need to cut the corners. I'm telling you, we need to take advantage of any means that we can, as long as it is legal, to make sure that we change our thinking patterns. It's such like, it's kind of like, there's a word I'm trying to get, because we can do that. That is all within our own control. That's where I'm trying to go. It's kind of like we're shortchanging ourselves by not starting there. Before we start worrying about the opportunities that people either give us or don't, at least let's stop some of the things that we do to limit, to restrict ourselves. And that's what I did. And I saw that sometimes Stanley would remind me, one of those repeating thoughts and stuff like that, like in our conversation. He would remind me, and I would admit it. I wasn't ashamed, We need to also be open about our failure in the beginning as we're working on it. Because it's by being honest that we can really address the work that has to be done. Because it is work. It takes time.
Yes.
But it gets easier down the line. Like almost everything in life that we learn to do, it gets easier. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Stanley. It keeps giving value to me, and I'm grateful for that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Olu. Really appreciate it. Always appreciate you joining us, not only in the mornings, but in the evenings, which is the morning, the next day for you. And I do see your growth. And folks, I used to do this when I was leading other people's organizations, and and teams, and you stop people right in their tracks when they may be going off a little bit in terms of their thinking, falling into a thinking trap. And this is a time that I wasn't even aware of what thinking traps are. This is amazing work. It makes a lot of sense, and that's what I like about it. It is something that these inner strengths and skills that are in common language. We're not talking about psychological jargon. I have a meeting tonight with the group of psychologists that I'm associated with, and these folks are high-level professionals, and they get this. I got a review from the psychologists, and when I made a presentation to them, and for continuing education credits, and then they told me I scored 5s, which was the highest mark across a number of levels there, or indicators and categories. So we all, and you hear the passion that's utilized here, Olu and Carla and Leslie. I mean, this makes sense, and it's based on research. It's not something that just a couple of people pulled together and said, this sounds really, really good. So what's going on with all of this? And we'll take you just in a couple of minutes, back to where it all started back in the late 60s with Dr. Martin Seligman, with his key discovery of learned helplessness. And what he discovered through a series of experiments was that the people can fall into this state of helplessness. You can actually learn to be helpless. It's not like you're born pessimistic or helpless or depressed, but you can actually learn that. You had a series of failures or suffer through a traumatic event, one or more, that you can then fall into this state where you feel powerless. Then he studied the opposite. So if folks can be powerless, can they also be more optimistic and have power? And the response was yes. And they went to work and they identified 7 inner strengths and 7 skills that you can practice so that you can get stronger in those 7 areas. There was a separate study that determined that our brains are processing 50,000 thoughts a day. They may be partial, some are full, but the fact is it's a thought, and that thought can create a reaction from you, anywhere from 1 to 5 big negative emotions, where, as a result of this negative thought, we can be angry, be anxious, we can feel guilty, feel sad, or be embarrassed. And the question is, so what do we do? There are 5 inner strengths as part of the framework. There's emotion regulation, learning how to control those emotions, impulse control. There's empathy. There's self-efficacy, the belief that you have control over your ability to succeed. There's optimism, causal analysis, and of course, reaching out, connecting with other people. So what are the skills? There's learning the ABCs. There's avoiding the thinking traps, those automatic negative thoughts where we're falling into traps, like jumping into conclusions, minimizing the positive, magnifying the negative, tunnel vision, overgeneralization. So it is to be aware. And the first 3 skills are about being aware of those thoughts, the ABCs, the thinking traps, and detecting the deep-rooted iceberg beliefs that are driving these thoughts and responses to those thoughts. So then we move into the action skills, challenging those beliefs, putting it in perspective, calming and focusing, and then real-time resilience. So I want to thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you all for reaching out when you didn't hear from me and you didn't see me, but we did start on time. Always happy to have you here. Oh, in the emails, those of you who received emails, please look for that. Click the link about setting up an appointment. I haven't done this in a while, but I want to reconnect with all of you. 15 minutes. We just started it yesterday. I had 7 folks, throughout the course of the day. I got about 8 today. Sherry Aquari has rejoined us as an executive assistant, is helping with setting up or sending information out about these appointments over LinkedIn. I want to get to reacquaint myself with you and get to know what you're focusing on and what I can help you with in 2026. So feel free to click that link in the email, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Let's connect and let's help you to make this particular year, 2026, the best ever. So remember, everybody, since we spend all of our time thinking 50,000 thoughts a day, we must think with power and utilize power thinking. all right, I'm going to see folks. I want to thank you all, Carla and Claudia. I see you there. And moving through, Farrell and Dove. I see Wireless Caller and Gloria Harrison and George Clark, Dr. Ekman and Greg Jones and Janice and many others as I scroll through. Take care, everybody. Gail Berger, Lindsay Edgar. Thank you all. Take care. We'll see you this evening at 9:30 p.m. Take care. All right. And on our platforms, we thank you all for being with us tonight. We will see you at 9:30. And I thank you again for all of your input, all of the texts that I could not get up. But I really, really appreciate you. Have a great one.